Basically the next thing is we are going to select all, go inside, unwrap it one time again. So we have this, yeah, I would say a little bit of a mess here going on, but we can just resolve that now. So let's see. All right, first things first, we're going to resolve this problem here. So we have this giant Engong going on. I don't really want that. So basically to resolve that, we can just insert it. So we have a little bit of a border, but we have just to be aware that we are going to, yeah, I would say we are going to intersect up here. So we don't really want that, but we can just select that and drag that a little bit up. Down here we don't have this problem, that's totally fine, but the other side is the same problem. So then we have just to unmark that as seam, clear seam. And the next thing we have to do is we need to deactivate the mean bevel weight on that. And obviously the sharp edge. So where is it? Clear sharp. Good, done that. Basically we can insert it another time, but just leave it like that and press the space bar, and now we can just type in merge and merge at center. It's not looking so good, but yeah, it's basically the thing you can do here, and we need just to find a point where it's not stretching too much down here, but you can just unstretch that a little bit more, so like that, and that's totally fine. If you want it in a, I would say if you want it in a fast way, you can do this in this way, but if you just want it nice and clean, you can do it by simply select these points, pressing J to join them, and you're going basically to do this on the whole object. So maybe until this point, and let's see what we can do up here. So we have this here. I think I'm going to join that together, so we have this triangle here, it's totally fine. Alright, now we have to decide how we can just fix this area here. Let's see. Basically, if we just select this point and going up with that, we have yeah, some I would say not so cool stuff going on here. So let's resolve that in another way. Let's see, I have here some error going on. So it's a little bit better. The problem about that is we have just to add some loop cuts here now. So the right amount to what you have on the other side, so you can just close that in this way. It's obviously a little bit too few here. So let's join them together, add another one. So as I mentioned, the problem is, the problem of that is we have a lot of points going on here, and it's not really an option we can really use. But basically it's the clean option. So add another one and we are good here. So it's the clean version, I would say, of doing that. But you don't really have to do that in this way. So that's the clean one, that's the fast one. So you can choose whatever you want. Another thing you can do is maybe a combination of both. So you're just keeping one, and the other you're going to just join with that one in the middle, I would say. So like that. So you have the best of both worlds, I would say. It doesn't matter really. It's just for cleaning a little bit of the stuff. But yeah, you can do it whatever in which way you want to. But basically, I think I'm going to select this version here. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to copy that so we can just put it on the other side. Going to select the other one, delete that. Now we can just select this up here, make sure you are on medium point, no, make sure you are on active element, sorry, and then with that you can just put it on this point here, select all by distance. You have just to recalculate the normals, so it's outside again, and you have it mirrored on the other side. Good, done this. We have resolved that, that's totally fine. So let's just unwrap that again. And we are good. Alright, so let's go back to our master UV layout. On our master UV layout, we have now to think which area we just want a lot of space to, yeah, basically texture on it. So we have to think how we just created our high poly. If you just activate the high poly, you see we have a lot of things going on inside of here. We have a lot of things going on that. And we have a lot of things going on maybe, not maybe, we have a lot of things going on here and this stuff here. And obviously a lot of things going on that. And that's pretty much. Or maybe on that too. So we have, yeah, I would say some wood texture on it. And that's good. Sorry, this too. Alright, we have identified our main, I would say main objects, main areas we want to put a lot of details on it. And we can just go inside here now and do some laying of our UV layout. So first of all, I'm going to just looking for the best method to unwrap that. So like that, I'm going to rotate that in the right way. But as you can see, we are just flipped. So I want to scale this -1 on the axis. That's fine. Make sure you're totally straight on that, totally flat. That's fine. And I just want it in this. Let's start with this size here. So same thing here. We have the problem that only the angle-based, only the conformer is working. So that's fine. We're going to keep that in this way. Or maybe first of all, let's triangulate that first, so we can just resolve a little bit of problems. Okay, before we are going to just triangulate that, we have to resolve this problem here. So it's really easy. Just select these points, join them together. So like that, and we are done with this. Same thing here, and we are done with that. So the other things you can't really see, so that's fine. Yeah, let's try. Select all, Command T to triangulate that. And let's see if we have some problems here, but it's looking good so far. Alright, so next. Next thing, select that again. So maybe the whole thing here. Unwrap it again. So conformer. And now we can just select that. Rotate that and put it in place. Right, let's put that on this point here. What's going on here? Oh, it's that one. Okay. I'm going to rotate that by 90 degrees, put it up here. So this is one which area we are going to have maybe a little bit of a problem later on, but let's see first. So then we have this here. That's totally fine in this side, in this size here. So let's try something here. Alright, here we have some problems. So if you're just going to use this this add-on here with this triangulated stuff, you're going to receive a problem. So we can't really use that in this way. But a workaround, I would say, is just to untriangulate that. So just type in tris, and you have this tris to quads. So it's basically the opposite of making tris of the quads. So you can use that. And if you're just going now with the option, it's working. So that's a little bit of a workaround. After that, you can just triangulate it again, and you're good to go here. So we are fine. I'm going to scale that down and put it in place. So like that. We have to do the same thing here. Just untriangulate that. Now we can snap it on the grid. Oops. So let's try again. Triangulate that. And we are good to go. Alright. So let's try this here again. Tris to quads. Yeah, it's not looking good, so I'm going to undo this. We're going to keep that in this way. It's totally fine. All right, done this. So let's work now with these parts here. So basically, it's some spots, some area that you are really, yeah, it's mirrored, or it's just some spots that you aren't really seeing like that inside here. So we can just wrap it once, so we have it a little bit bigger. And now we can just go inside. That's a spot that I just want to a little bit better. So let's try our tris to quads and our add-on. Let's see if it's working. No, it's not working very much. It's not working. No, it's not working good. So let's keep it like that. All right, this here, it's going to go an object. I just want to mirror it, so I'm going to put that outside. It's totally fine. Or maybe I'm just thinking about. No, I'm going to keep that outside. That's totally fine. So let's see what else we have here. It's basically some stuff left. This here is going to be a little bit smaller, so we can put it here. So then we have this up here and down here. So here I think I just want to try the add-on again. So let's see if we can try it. No, it's doing some weird stuff, so we can't really use that. Let's keep it like that. That's fine. Make sure you have the same size as this here. So after the text, so in the texturing process, we don't have any, I would say, different styles of size on the object. That's very important. So we have this here too. Can keep that maybe in that size here. That's totally fine. What else we have? So we have that down here. I'm going to select the whole object. I'm going to unwrap it. And on this we can use our add-on. I just tried it earlier, so oops. Let's try it again. Here it's doing some weird stuff. I don't want that. So I'm going to just do this again. Angle based. Let's try that. Alright, it's looking good. Scale it down. It's an object you can't, yeah, you can see it, but it's not an object. I just want to put a lot of details on it. So I'm going to scale that in a way that we are going to don't waste too much of the space here. Alright. So what else we have? We have the parts up here. We have the whole thing, the whole object. Angle based, that's fine. So it's our top object. It's yeah, it's being seen, so Don't make it too small. Now this is going to be here. This is going to be here. This is going to be here. As you can see, I'm not really precise with our texture space here, so we're going to just use another add-on later on. It's a cool add-on. I'm using it in every single object, in every asset I made. So let's see, first we have just wanna do the upper part here, and then we are fairly done. So unwrap, conformal, going to scale them down. It's not an object, you can see it, but we don't need to waste as much texture space here. So let's see if we keep it in the size, it's good. That's fine, and we have the rest. It's not really seen, so we can just put it, yeah, up here maybe, so like that. All right, so select the whole thing. This face this face I do not select because later on I'm just mirroring it on the other object, so we have the same thing on the other side. That's totally fine. So we are going to use now our UV Pack Master 3. On UV Pack Master 3, it's very important that you're going to deactivate the rotation and deactivate or activate the fixed scale option. So these two options are doing, first of all, rotation enabled is going to re-rotate our stuff in a way I don't want to, because I just want it straight, and if we activate that, it's going to fit that as best as possible in here with rotation. I don't want that. Fixed scale is the option you're going to use if you're just happy with your scale, like here. So I just want this option or this this object here, this faces in this size, and I do not want to scale this faces again. So just activate that. If you're happy, just click on pack, and you see it's going to repack our texture space, our UV layout in the best way, I would say. So the problem about that is we have some things that are a little bit too big. So I'm going to just make it a little bit smaller, select that again, make all a little bit bigger, and now you can pack again, and you can pack it unless you're seeing here an error. So I'm just exaggerating. As you can see here, we have the error, so the packer haven't enough space for that, and we are going to use our space as best as possible, I would say. Good, we are done here, and we are going to go in here. I'm going to just triangulate all again if I just forgot something, but we are good. So I think we are done with our high and low poly. So we can go to the next step. So select the low poly and just join them together. So Command J. Oh, we have first of all, obviously, just to on this area to apply the mirror, and make sure you haven't any mirror object going on too. Good. So the problem about that is we have just mirrored all the things on top of the other islands. So if I'm just going to select that, you see we have down here another one. Sometimes it's creating some problems later on in Substance Painter. So we have just to I would say resolve that first. So I'm going to select 1/2 that. Just put it outside. Make sure you are the only one inside here. And we're good. Alright, so that are the things we are going to mirror later on top of that. Good. Done that. We can now just export it as FBX. In here it's very important that you go to limit to selected objects And with that, geometry, go down here and you have the option apply modifiers. Very important, activate that. Go to export FBX. After the exportation of the low, we have to do the same thing with the high poly. Select the high poly, go inside here, select all again. And important, you can just triangulate that, but if you're just doing it like that, you have some problems maybe going on here. Up here we have a lot of problems going on, so I'm going to undo that quick, and we have to do here fixes quick. You have this border here, just merge that at center. Try again, merge at center. Same thing down here, you can insert that, merge it at center, and we're done with that object. So we have here the same thing. Let's see how we can do that. Insert that, and with this insert. Basically we have to do the same thing we have done in the low poly. So it's just to prevent some errors going on with the shading later on. So we can just do this very, very quick. So done this. We have to check the rest here, but it's looking good. Inside here, I don't think we have any problems. So up here we can have some problems. So just do the same thing, merge at center, invert, merge at center. Alright, so let's try again. Select all, Tris, and let's see, we have some problems somewhere, but it's looking so far good. Yeah, so far it's looking good. So select all, export that as FBX. I'm going to call this this time high, so if you just call the other one low, it would be better. Same thing here, limit method to selected objects, and on geometry apply modifiers, and that's it. Export. Just wait a second, and then you can go to Marmoset Toolbag. In Marmoset Toolbag, the first thing we are going to do is just to drag and drop our low and high in here. So I have it on my other screen. I'm just dragging in here these two files, and then you have it here. You can just close that, and this one here, we don't need that. And you see already here we have the high and the low just overlapping each other. If I'm just deactivating the high, you see we have the low only, so that's perfect. The next thing is we are going to this break to this bread here, this bake new project. Just click on that. You can just rename it if you want to. I'm going to name it X, and then we have just drag and drop it in here, the low in the low and the high in the high. So we have to reactivate our high so we see what we are doing, because we just need to set up our cage. So for that I'm just going to go close in here so we see a little bit more of the border here. So then we can go to the low, and in here this green thing here is just the cage. So with that you can go to max offset and just make it a little bit smaller. Don't make it too small like that, because if you can see here, these runes are outside of the cage and we don't want that, so I just want it slightly inside of the cage. If you're just receiving this message here, it's saying that you need an output path. That's because you have your auto bake on quick, so if you just go to none, you can just change whatever you want without any message here. Alright, so done this. Make sure you just write in every detail you just want to bake. Down here we are outside, so I'm just making a little bit bigger here. Don't make it too big, so like that, it's enough. Alright, that's fine. So done this. Now we can just go to the high one, deactivate that, and I'm going to just close here so we see what's going on. You have to go to this X here, and on that we have to do a couple of things. First thing, we have just to determine the output, so go to these 3 dots here. In here I'm just going to create a new file. I'm going to call this Marmoset, and I'm going to create another one for substance. So in Marmoset I'm going to make one for the save file and the other one for the maps. So in Substance I'm going to do the same thing, so save and texture. Oops. Texture. Alright, I'm going to save it into Marmoset save. I'm going to call this X. PSD is fine, and go to save. So the next thing, samples go up to 16, and in here it's everything fine. We don't need any multiple texture sets, so go to master here, go to 4K if you want to, and under maps go to configure, and in here deactivate the material ID. We need the ambient occlusion, and that's it. We need the normals object, position, curvature, thickness, and ambient occlusion. That's fine. So important, activate here the ambient occlusion, and now you can just hit the bake button. So after the bake you see nothing. That's because, very important, you have to go to this P button, the preview button, and if you click on that you see what's going on. So we have baked now our details in here. So you see here a little bit of a mess. That's because we have just done a certain UV layout. So if you just remember, we have on our low object here this side just mirrored, maybe. Oh no, we have it on the other side. So we have just the details on this side. That's very important that you remember that. And for this here, for this area, it's fine. So just keep it like that. We are going to resolve that later on. So that's totally fine. For now, we have just to worry about these details in here. So the middle and the right side. Ignore the left side, that's totally fine. And if you can see here, we aren't really straight on that. So on this here, you see it a little bit better. We are a little bit up, so we have to bake it a little bit better. You see it here really, really good. So we have just to adjust a little bit more our skews here. So go back to low, go to paint skew, and in here you can just find the area you want to just straighten up. So as you can see here, we're going to straighten that. So I'm going just to show you, or maybe I'm going to show you the difference about that. So I'm going just to make one side. So like that, that's totally fine. So I'm going to close that, I'm going to bake it again. So now you see the difference. This side here is baked different than this here. So you can see it's baked relatively straight, and up here you see the same thing. So here we have some angle that we don't want, and in here we have an angle too. Here's a little bit of an error, we can just resolve that soon. And that's it, we have just to apply that on the whole object. So I'm going to open the skew, and for now I'm going to make it quick. So I'm going up with the size, I'm going up with the sharpness, and just paint in here all the stuff. So I don't want to lose here too much time, so I'm just doing that, and it's really quick done. So I'm going to bake it again, and now we are perfectly straight on that. So in here we are straight, so we are very, very good here. All right, we are done with our baking in a Marmoset toolbag. Down here is looking very cool, and here it's looking also cool. Or maybe we can just bake that. So I'm thinking about to bake this whole thing here. That would be great. But for now, we are going just to Substance Painter.